Hey, it's Matt at Leisure Line. Gonna go over some quick instructions for lighting your stove. My stove has been sitting here waiting for me. It's off. So the switch in the back of the stove is off. The direct vent's all hooked back up again. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to turn the thermostat down. Right now, push the menu button once, you see FSA. Second time, you see the feed rate. Sometimes that might be in your setup menu, but in this case, this firmware, it's in the top level. So you can see it's already at 23. That's not a problem. If it's around that area, you can go ahead and light it. If you need to, what you can do is when you walk up to the thermostat when it's in the round robin, as you see right now, you hit the down arrow and you see the override. So we're going to turn it down to like 53 so it doesn't feed too much coal, because right now we're going to have a full grade of coal going in there. So we're going to walk back over. The items that we need are the fire stop ring. You can see this one's a little crispy. It's been burned a few times. And one of these starter bags, or you can use one of the what they call coal mice with the fuse on it. There's no coal in the stove yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to fit this on the grate. We're going to bend it out so it fits tight. And it goes right there at the very bottom. Then we're going to take our starter bag and we're going to flatten it out. We're going to put it on the grate right towards the end with the stapled area there. So now we need to put some coal in it. So we have coal from Blast Shock, the buckwheat size, as you can see. It's a little bit bigger, but there's no little pieces in it, so it's nice and clean. If you can get that, I recommend it. It works out pretty well. So now we're going to go ahead and pour. So as you can see inside, the coal's not over the bag yet. So we have coal in the hopper, but we don't have that much. So it's a good idea to start out with a little bit less. So we're going to just kind of push it up over the feed opening. And we're going to go ahead and reach inside and pull coal down over top of the bag. And you'll see I forgot to put my ash pan in. So, need to get me an ash pan. Okay, we have our ash pan. Put that in the stove. Now, since we pulled coal down, we want to make sure we have good coal source over the feeder opening, just to start out with. Okay. I like to have a little bit more than that over top. There we go. So you can see it's not completely covered, but there's enough coal there to get it started. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our direct vent on. And remember that barometric damper needs to be at least a little bit open so you can have enough draft. We'll check that again after we get the combustion fan on the stove started, because it's going to close a little bit when that's on. So we have draft. Now if you have a chimney, you're going to get a little bit more smoke out into the room because the stove is not airtight, but we're going to go ahead and give this thing a light. All right. So you can use matches or whatever. I use one of these little torches like this. Okay, you can see it's smoldering. So now we can go back to the Coal-Trol, turn our switch on. So when you first light it, it doesn't seem like the bag is doing much. So if we open the door just to check on it, we'll see, oh, there's just lots of smoke, not a whole lot going on yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait about a minute or so, maybe 2, and check on it again. Okay, it's been probably about a minute and a half. We're just going to take a quick peek inside and see. Now what you can see there is there's red behind the coal, but there's no blue flames coming up yet. The smoke is down a little bit, but it's not quite going yet, so we're going to give it a little longer. One thing we're going to just check on is we put the override on, so we're just going to see what the feed rate is. So you hit the menu button once, you'll see the fan speed. Hit it again. See, now it's already back down to 12. Now the one thing about that is, since the feed rate's 12, the fan's going to be running very slow, but you're going to have a full grade of coal. So once we get that burning well, I'm going to show you how to use your manual fan speed. Or the other option is just to plug your fan into an outlet temporarily to get that convection fan that's blowing the air over the stove running at full speed. That's the one with the yellow tie wrap. I had to adjust the direct vent up a little bit. You can see it's just barely fluttering right now, because with the combustion fan running, that caused it to be closed. Okay, now we've had probably, I guess it's about 3.5, 4 minutes since I lit it. So we're going to check it again. And there you can see we already have blue flames coming up through the coal. That means it's lit, and it'll go from there. Now that fire stop ring will get pushed off by the coal feed if you don't move it, but you can kind of make it last longer by pushing it off there with a metal tool so you don't get burned. And just don't forget to take it out of your ash pan. Okay, since we got a pretty decent fire, first thing we're going to do is, the feed rate was down and our temperature in the room is 57 right now. So we'll go ahead and bring it up on the O until we get to the set point, which was 59. So that's okay to leave it there. And we're going to hit the menu button once. Whoops. These aren't labeled. The menu button's over there. We're going to hit that once and get to the fan speed. And if you go down, that's the right side arrow, it's going to go to 1. But if you go up, it'll go back to FSA. And now we're at fan speed 99. And you can probably hear it, but the fan's now running at full blast. And there's already warm air coming off of it. We'll just take a look at our fire, but you can see it's starting to get going there. If If you didn't quite have enough coal over it, you can always get the little steel shovel. And just gently bring a little bit more over it. There we go. Okay, that's it. The only thing you have to remember to do is, obviously, we don't have much coal in there, so you want to go ahead and fill that up. And put your fan, either plug it back into the Coal-Trol or put it back on fan speed automatic. And your stove is ready to go to keep you warm. Thank you.